Welcome back to Wines du Jour. We're here at McCormick and Schmick, having a good time, getting settled in, if you will. We have our first wine that's been poured, and everybody's had a chance to taste it. It's a California wine, and it comes from a winery known as Lamplighter. Now, there's a great story behind this Lamplighter name, and I'm going to ask Rob Smith if he'd be kind enough to tell us how, how Lamplighter came about and what it's all over.
Hi, everybody. Welcome. The Lamplighter, this is a fun little wine. These gentlemen had been in the wine business quite a few years. They were with some of the bigger wine companies, and they all got together. There was actually 8 of them, and they said, we're going to start a little company, and we're going to call it the Cult of 8. So they've actually gone out to some of their friends that they knew when they were in the bigger wineries. They got some really long-term contracts for grapes at some pretty incredible prices, and they decided to make this wine as a nice value wine. And as Les said, it is a California wine. Most of the grapes are coming from Napa, but since they are going outside other counties, they have to call it a California wine. But 86% Chardonnay on here. There actually is a little bit of Sauv Blanc and a little bit of Riesling, so that's where you're getting your fruity notes. And some of the wine has actually been in oak, so it gets a little bit of that oak, but they didn't want that big oaky, buttery taste. So they wanted to make it clean and crisp, but give it a little bit of the California history.
That's right, the Sauvignon Blanc and the Riesling, but there's also a third one in addition to the Chardonnay, and that is Gewürztraminer. Now, Gewürz, as we like to call it in the wine business, is kind of a spicy wine. And Gewürz by itself is something that's very popular in Oriental or Asian restaurants because it goes well, like in Thai food, excuse me, where you have the choice of 1 to 10 for heat, and it gets pretty spicy around 7 or 8 or 9, but because that wine just kind of settles down that heat and makes it, it's spicy enough to where it isn't a stark difference between the spiciness and wine like it might be. You can imagine if you had a glass of Chardonnay with spicy food, it probably wouldn't taste very good, and probably shouldn't either for that matter. But this is a balance that has a nice citrus flavor. I get that right off the bat, but it also has enough of that vanilla oak to be very nice, but not offensive. Now, I put down a few things that this Chardonnay, I think, goes well with. Listen to this. Cooked shellfish like crab, prawns, steamed or grilled fish, fish pâtés. I don't know how many of you even mess with pâtés. You should try a pâté. Get your cookbook out and try one. You'll find out you'll be very happy you did. It goes well with fish. It goes well with chicken or even vegetables for that matter. It goes well with pasta or a typical standard risotto. Chardonnay will go with. Now, if you start adding mushrooms or seafood or other things with it, then you want to start looking for other wines. But those are the types of things that go well with. And this, believe it or not, Chardonnay is one of my favorite things to have with, you ready? Vegetable soup. Never thought of it, right? I hope not, because I'm trying to give you something you don't already know. But vegetable soup and get a glass of Chardonnay, you'll go, holy cow, this goes really well together. Now, let me tell you what the chef has done, because here in just a couple minutes they're going to be bringing the food in for our guests. And if you're watching or listening to Wines du Jour for the first time, we have an audience of about 40 people that come to the show each week. They're invited guests, and a lot of them have been in town here for a long time. Most of them are locals, not all of them, and they come and follow because we promote wine and food. That's what this show is all about. I'm a chef, and I'm very passionate about food and wine. I really believe it's important. I don't make any money at it. I'm not looking to make money at it. I'm doing it because I think it's necessary, because most people are interested in finding out more about food and wine. Tonight, if you can take a little bit of lemongrass, you take that and soak it in water for about 30 minutes, just not to make it limber, but just to get it moist, and then take your shrimp and skewer it with the lemongrass and put it on the grill. Okay? Then, and I like to use jumbo shrimp, which is what we call prawns. Okay? That's big shrimp. Okay, prawns. The chef happens to have a personal, private recipe for Thai papaya salad that he's going to share with us. So if you take the Thai papaya salad and take the skewered shrimp and take a sip of the Chardonnay, you're going to say, now we know what wine pairing is all about. Pretty neat, huh? So this salad, I have to tell you, Thai papaya salad. Everybody knows what a papaya is, right? You just take them, take the seed out, cut them up. That's what they made here, this beautiful salad. Have you tasted it yet? Excuse me. I have to tell you, has everybody tasted it or no? Go ahead and taste it. It's okay. You don't have to wait. I want you to taste that salad in particular, and then take a sip of that Chardonnay and tell me what you think. I think you're going to really like it. Isn't that good? Now, this is not a recipe you're going to find in a cookbook, but I think if you really want one, send me an email. I'll twist the chef's arm real tight and see if I can't get a recipe for you if you'd like to have it. Okay? That would be good. Okay. Now, I don't know about you, but wine is food. You know, we say that every week on the show. And I have to tell you, that's not an exaggeration. It's an absolute fact. And I'd like you to consider it as food. You know, there's vodka, there's gin, there's scotch, there's bourbon, and so on and so forth. And that's what people go out on Friday night and see how much they can drink and all that kind of thing. That's not what wine is all about. Wine is food. And I'd like you to think about it as food and have it with every dinner meal. You know, the medical profession all over the world has agreed now that everybody should have 1 or 2 glasses of wine every day with your dinner meal. That is an automatic. So if you can think of it that way, you'll find out that you're going to be healthier for it, number 1. And number 2, you're going to enjoy it a lot better because a little glass of wine, or 2, not bottles, glasses, is something that everybody's got to love with a nice meal. And of course, that's what you do every day is a nice meal. We'll be back coast to coast and around the world on the internet right after this message.
Switch to DirecTV today and get a free upgrade to the all-new Genie, our most advanced HD DVR ever. Genie serves your entire home with just 1 receiver, allows you to record any 5 shows at once, and gives you up to 3 times more HD recording capacity than cable. Order now and lock in your savings for 2 years. Other packages start at just $29.99 a month. So get all your TV wishes granted. Switch to DirecTV and get your free upgrade to Genie today.